In today's episode on the garden series, I'm going to be planting. It's hot out, perfect time for starting the planting process because the soil needs that 60 degrees or above to help germinate the seeds. So stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hanson. If you guys can't tell, I've been busy in the garden. You saw in the previous video where I completely got this whole back 25 foot by 25 foot section ready for planting my corn and my bush beans. And then I managed to accumulate some more soil, so we were able to top the rest of the beds off, and they're ready to go. So start transplanting some vegetables from in the greenhouse out to the garden, and plus get some seed in the ground. In the next episode, I will be putting in the drip irrigation. I got all my line laid out. I had to take inventory on how much line I have. I have about 600 feet. I only need about 580 feet to do the whole project. So I think I got enough. So let's get this planting started. So I'm just going to dedicate this episode to just planting corn, since this is where I'm starting. Now I got a bonus feature for you guys. I got a can of chili. This is what I had for lunch. And I've got a can opener. The bonus is, take your can opener, open your can this way, not this way. See that? Don't do it this way, do it that way. And now what you have is you have a sharp edge. And I'm going to show you what I do with that sharp edge. Now, as far as spacing of corn, I'm going to plant my seeds 12 inches apart in the row, but I'm putting 3 seeds per plot. I'm planting them an inch deep, and the rows are going to be 3 feet apart. That allows for plenty of air between the rows so the corn can grow tall and sufficient pollination could take place when the wind blows to self-pollinate the corn from the pollen to the silk. I've spread out the wood chips on this row. I've got my tape measure out, and I'm going to go ahead and start making my holes. Let me show you. We do a hole right here. And every foot we're going to do a hole. And this makes it so easy because look at that. It also picks up the dirt. Now, since the Native Americans, or the First Nations people, their tradition was to stick a fish or a piece of a fish in the hole and plant the seed on top of it, I went down and bought me some fish fertilizer. I'm going to proportion it in this jug, and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons in there and fill it with water. And I'm just going to fill each hole with some fish emulsion. Okay, the variety of corn I'm going to be growing is the Golden Bantam, and this is from that seed bank that I got in that can. And what this is going to do, it's non-GMO, so I'll be able to grow corn and then save a couple of the best ears, let them dry, and harvest those for seed in the fall for next year's crop. So what I'm going to do is plant 3 seed per hole, and then when it comes time to thin, I'll go ahead and pull the 2 weakest ones and leave 1 in there to grab all the nutrients as I continue to fertilize. So let's get these seeds planted. Okay, now I'm going to add some topsoil, and into my topsoil blend I added some 5-10-10 mixture to help the corn, feed the corn within the soil, so every time we water it, the corn will receive nutrients and food so that it's not competing for nutrients in these little holes. But the roots will tap down deep and spread out and grab other nutrients that are around. But we're going to go ahead and mix this in and fill each hole with some soil. We're just going to top the hole off. And they just water it in. So now I just come 3 feet out this way and then put my other stake, and then I'm ready to plant the next row, and then 5 more rows after that. So we're going to have a total of 7 rows of corn in this section of the garden. Now, what inspired me to do it this way? Well, this is Oregon, and we have legalized marijuana and hemp grows around here, and I've got a lot of hemp farms all over around my homestead. I think the closest one is probably a mile away. Anyway, you see these vast hemp farms, and they've got these plastic lines, and they punch holes in those lines, and they, that plastic, and then they grow their hemp through that. That's what inspired me. Now, I have not seen anybody grow corn in this method. This is just a small plot, so I can afford to do that. And then what I'm trying to do is get away from weeding and tilling, because I want to use my rototiller and barter with it with something I need, because I don't want to have to use the rototiller anymore. That uses gas. And we're trying to get away from gas consuming appliances, if you will, because I don't know what the future holds. And as far as gardening goes, well, we have to grow food. That's going to be a no-brainer in the future. We have to grow our own food, just in case. So setting up a no-till, no-weed garden, there'll be a few weeds that grow up in those spots, but it's going to be a lot easier plucking those weeds out. Now, what inspired me to use a can to make my holes? Well, it was easy. I decided to be a little adventurous and open my chili can this way instead of the conventional way. And when I did, I noticed the sharp edges, and I thought, ooh, that could cut. And then sitting here today, getting ready to do the show, I'm thinking, you know what? I've got that can out there. I'll go ahead and use that can and the sharp edges to make the holes in the plastic. And then as you drilled down into it, about an inch, 2 inches, when you brought it out, it also brought out the dirt. So you just shook the dirt out of it. And so you've got your nice 2-inch depth. You've got a nice hole in your canvas. And yeah, a great DIY Homestead hack planting tool. I think I need a pair of pliers, keep a pair of pliers to keep these up, because when it hits stones, it gets bent and starts, you know, it doesn't go dull, but it bends over and doesn't cut as well. You just make sure they're straight up when you're using it. So I think a pair of pliers would help this cut as you're going along and keep it sharp. So let me know in the comments below what you think of my innovations and my jerry rig. I want to thank you guys for joining me on this episode on how I've decided to try a new innovative way of planting my corn and creating a tool for planting corn. Stay tuned to more videos. You could do that by subscribing and clicking that bell icon. That will alert you to new videos as I upload them. Also, please click that share button. Sharing my videos on your social media platforms really helps advertise our channel to your viewers and let them know what we're doing. Hey, if this is a fail, I'll show you guys it failed, because I'm not above showing you my triumphs and my failures. This is real. This is real life, because I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes I did. So I'm experimenting and I'm showing you the outcomes of these experiments. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Whew, it's hot out here. I'm going to take a break and come out here when the sun sets and plant more garden. Yeah, it's just too hot. Please stay tuned to more videos. You could do that by clicking that share button. Cut.